What happens when those supposed to protect us become the perpetrators of violence? This chilling tale begins one cold January night in 2023. A racist call for extrajudicial violence is made by a white resident in Rankin County, Mississippi, complaining about two black men residing in a local home. This sets in motion a series of horrific events that would leave an indelible scar on the victims and a community at large. The deputies, acting on this call, break into the home without a warrant. They handcuff Jenkins and Parker, the innocent men inside, subjecting them to a brutal assault that included racial slurs, stun guns, and a bizarre ritual involving milk, alcohol, and chocolate syrup. In a desperate bid to hide their heinous acts, the officers concoct a cover-up. They plant drugs and a gun, framing Jenkins and Parker for crimes they didn't commit. The charges against these men would stand for months, a constant reminder of a night of terror and humiliation. But as we delve deeper into this story, we'll see how this cover-up began to unravel, exposing the truth behind a cruel night that left two innocent men traumatized and a community in shock. As dawn broke, a nefarious plot was set in motion. The officers, realizing the extent of their brutal assault, scrambled to conceal their crimes. They planted drugs and a firearm at the scene, concocting a story that painted the victims as the offenders. False charges were levied against Michael Corey Jenkins and Parker, adding insult to their already egregious injuries. Yet amidst the turmoil, the victims remained resilient. Despite the weight of the false accusations and the trauma they endured, they steadfastly maintained their innocence. Their unwavering persistence sparked a flame of doubt in the minds of some, leading to an eventual investigation. As the months rolled by, the officers' facade began to crumble. Their cover story, once seemingly solid, started showing cracks under the scrutiny. The lies they had spun were slowly but surely unraveled, revealing the horrifying truth of that fateful night. The officers' admission of guilt marked a turning point in the case. The victims, once painted as criminals, were finally recognized for what they were, victims of a horrific and racially motivated assault. The officers, who had once stood behind a shield of authority, were now exposed for their monstrous actions. In the face of adversity, the truth found its way to light. The victims' persistence had paid off, and the officers' attempts at a cover-up had failed. It was a stark reminder that even in the darkest corners, the truth has a way of shining through. In the pursuit of justice, no stone was left unturned. The legal proceedings unfolded with a heavy sense of anticipation in the air. The 6 former officers, once the enforcers of law, found themselves on the receiving end of justice, pleading guilty to their heinous actions. The courtroom bore witness to the officers' remorse, their regret palpable as they spoke. However, regret could not undo the trauma inflicted, nor erase the pain endured by the victims. The officers' pleas were met with stern words from U.S. District Judge Tom Lee. He emphasized that the officers were not mere bystanders, but active participants in the brutal attack. Their actions, he said, were not just an abuse of power, but also a gross violation of the trust placed in them by the community they swore to protect. The sentencing was severe, mirroring the gravity of the crime. With prison terms ranging from 5 to 30 years, the officers were made to pay for their actions. The sentences handed down were not just about punishment, but also served as a powerful statement. It echoed through the courtroom, resonating with a clear message: no one is above the law. The judge's final words were a poignant reminder of the systemic issues within law enforcement, issues that allowed such a crime to occur in the first place. His words served as a call to action, a plea for introspection and reform within the system. Justice may have been delayed, but it was not denied. The sentencing of the officers was a significant step towards rectifying the wrongs of the past. It was a testament to the resilience of the victims and a beacon of hope for others who have suffered similar injustices. The echoes of this case will reverberate far and wide, reminding us all of the importance of justice, accountability, and the enduring fight for equality. In the aftermath of such a tragic event, what do we take away? The echoes of this case resonate far beyond the courtroom, stirring a profound sense of anguish and a cry for justice within our society. This incident has not only scarred the victims, but also left an indelible mark on the community, reminding us of the systemic issues within law enforcement that continue to persist. The ripple effect of this case has sparked a wider conversation. It underscores the urgent need to re-evaluate and reform the principles that govern law enforcement. It serves as a stark reminder that the abuse of power and racial discrimination have no place in our society. It's a call to action, a plea for further investigations into police misconduct, and a demand for transparency and accountability. The lessons learned from this case should propel us towards a future where law enforcement upholds the values of justice, equality, and respect for all individuals. In the face of such horror, we are reminded of the urgent need for change.